Alright, what's good everyone? Welcome to the most comprehensive comparison between the Z Fold 6 and the Z Fold 5. Let's get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about in this comparison is just the pricing. So obviously the Z Fold 6 got a $100 price increase when you buy it brand new with no deals or anything like that. The Z Fold 6 in Canada, you're probably going to spend around $2,300 to around $3,000 brand new with no deals or discounts or anything like that. The Fold 5, Samsung is not selling. Now that it's been a year since it's been out, you can probably get this on Facebook Market or Kijiji for like around $1,000 at the minimum. Maybe even a little less because there's a lot of people that want to upgrade or a lot of people who are just tired with their Fold 5. So they're selling it for very cheap or they need money and stuff like that. You can definitely find easy deals for a Fold 5 right now. So honestly, with the Fold 6 coming out, the Fold 5 has become a better deal. So definitely look out for that if you're interested in a foldable for the first time. I think the Fold 5 has good durability. The hinge and everything, Samsung really figured it out with this generation. It's better than the Fold 4 for sure. So Fold 5 is definitely a good pickup if you don't want to spend all the money for this one right here. In terms of packaging, you already know the story, bro. Samsung, they copied Apple years ago, and so there's no charger in the box. You just got a cable, regular books and stuff like that, SIM injection tool, and that's it. Call it a day. So the boxes and packaging is all the same when it comes to these two phones. Now let's get to the design. This is probably the biggest change of these phones right here. A lot of people say these phones are the same, but the design is something that definitely sets them apart. As you can see, the hinge on the Fold 6 on the left side is definitely slimmed down a lot compared to the Fold 5s. You might not be able to fully take it in on video, but trust me, in person, you can definitely see the difference and you can feel the difference. So the hinge is definitely slimmed down. And especially from this perspective, look at the left side of the screen, you can see that the frame is a lot thicker and the hinge protrudes a little bit more on the Fold 5 than the Fold 6. It's definitely an improvement, like it improves the slimness of the phone or the slim feel of the phone, and it just makes it look more premium and complete. Whereas this one, as soon as I saw the Fold 6 in person, my perception of the 5 changed. Personally, I thought the Fold 5 looked really good. Like I didn't really mind the design at all. But now after the Fold 6 came out, the Fold 5 kind of looks like a prototype of the Fold 6. So the Fold 6 is the one that actually hit the markets. That's what it feels like. Either way though, both of them look good. It's just a subtle improvement all around the phone of the Fold 6, which in my opinion makes it a big improvement because it's a lot of small changes that are nice. So the design is definitely different. As you can see, we got a more boxy design with the Fold 6. And you might think like, oh, boxy equals not comfortable, but it actually is pretty comfortable to hold. It doesn't really dig into your skin as I thought it would initially, but after using it, nah, it's pretty comfortable to hold, especially with the slimness. The slimness really helps. But the Fold 5, I would say the round edges are a little bit more comfortable, but the weight definitely makes it less comfortable than the Fold 6. Personally, I didn't have an issue with the Fold 5's weight. I would use it all the time, no problem. But the Fold 6, it really is just nice. Like when I used the vegan leather 1 Plus Open, I was like, holy, this is actually pretty light. And the Fold 6 is the same weight as that. So it's a nice little combo right here. Just to go around the whole body to show you a complete comparison, everything is basically in the same place. You got all the antennas, the buttons, the volume button, the power button, and fingerprint sensor. You got your SIM card slot right there. The camera placement is exactly the same, but obviously the Fold 6 cameras are thicker with the black bezels, but they are the same cameras. The only difference is the ultra wide cameras is a new camera system, but it's basically the same in terms of like quality output, stuff like that. And yeah, aside from, you know, the boxiness, and you can clearly see that the Fold 6 is wider, that's basically it in terms of like the design. I personally like the Fold 6 more. It just feels like, I don't know, premium and professional, clean and stuff like that. And also, in terms of like fingerprints, both of them are matte, but the Fold 6, at least the silver one right here, you can definitely see fingerprints appearing on it a lot easier than the Fold 5 for this color right here. That is something that you got to think about. Fingerprints will appear. I know most people will use a case, but it is something to note. Just wipe that down. All right, so I talked a lot about the exterior designs and stuff like that. So now let's see how they fit in the pocket and how easy they are to take out. So first I'll do the Z Fold 5, put it in my pocket. This is how it looks, this is how it feels. And then taking it out, pretty easy, no problems with that. Z Fold 6, put it in my pocket. This is how it looks, how it feels. And then taking it out of my pocket, pretty easy. So no problems with that. Now let's do a normal smartphone, just so you can see for a comparison. This is Nothing Phone 2A, the size of a 15 Pro Max. Put it in my pocket. It definitely feels more bulky for sure. Feels like there's actually something in my pocket. Then I pull it out. Honestly, I don't really have any problems with taking a normal phone out of my pocket anyways. However, the folds are definitely easier to grip onto and pull out of the pocket. And even just put it in the pocket, it feels a little bit more easier because of how slim it is. All right, so now let's get into the front screen. So this is where I'm gonna compare like literally everything on these phones. So first things first, let me just give you a little look at like how they look. in the home screen. So they're pretty much identical in terms of the layout because I use smart switch to switch from the Fold 5 right here to the Fold 6. And yeah, this is basically how the home screen looks on both of them. And the Fold 6 outer screen is definitely bigger. You can see that here. It might not seem like that much of a difference on camera, but trust me, the difference is actually pretty decent in person and just using it in day-to-day experience. So we're gonna get into this actually. So I already talked about ergonomics, but Fold 6, I would say is a little bit more pokey. It's not, honestly, it's not bad at all, but it is a little bit more pokey than the Fold 5. But like I said, the weight is comfortable. And then when we're talking about like typing and stuff like that, because the screen is a little bit bigger, you're gonna have an easier experience with the Fold 6. So the ergonomics are pretty good. I think that the ergonomics on both these phones are good enough, but the Fold 6 definitely takes it when it comes to like typing and watching videos and just, you know, carrying the phone around and doing different things. The outer display will definitely be a more comfortable experience. So the first test we're gonna do is typing with one hand and then typing with two hands and see which one is more comfortable, and just to give you a visual representation of that. So here we go. The Z Fold 6 is here. That's two fingers, and now we're gonna do one finger. The Z Fold 6 is here. Boom. That is that on the Z Fold 6. So now we're gonna do that on the Z Fold 5, two fingers. The Z Fold 6 is here. Oops. I feel like I'm a little bit faster with the Z Fold 5 because I had more time with it. I did mess up the H on that one. And now one-handed, the Z Fold 6 is here. I messed up here again. But yeah, that's typing on both of them, one-handed versus two-handed. I feel like I don't have any problem with the Z Fold 5s at all. I feel like I can type pretty fast in it. It's like the iPhone mini size. However, this definitely feels more comfortable because it's a bigger keyboard. That's not an argument, really. It just gives you more room. And even if you don't like how tall it is and stuff like that, you can customize the keyboard size and height and even the width to make it fit whatever you want. So more space is never going to be a bad thing when it comes to like comfortability and typing and stuff like that. So now we're gonna get into like actually using these phones and how these outer displays compare to each other. So we're gonna do multitasking first. So we'll do two windows of Samsung Internet, two finger swipe, and then I'm gonna open up another window of Samsung Internet on the Z Fold 6, two finger swipe, do the same thing on the 5. And let's just go to the same websites. All right, so now we got both of these in split screen and the experience is going to be very similar, but the Z Fold 6 is definitely a little bit better because of the extra width, but like it's really similar. Like it's not too much of a difference when it comes to like what you see on the screen. But yeah, obviously both of these phones can run split screen and stuff very easily. If you want to full screen the app, you can. Then if you want to go into floating window real quick, you can do that. Resize your floating window, minimize it. You do all that same stuff on both of these phones. If you want to go into, you know, a quick app from your edge panel and then tap another app to go into the split screen real quick, you can do that as well. You can also drag and drop into floating windows, and multitasking is just amazing on both these phones. And because of how slim these phones are, you can do multitasking with one hand very, very quickly and easily, as you see me doing it right here. Like super easy. I can execute so many different things on this phone, on the outer display with one finger. It's just a really nice experience, and I do this all the time. So yeah, that's the multitasking. It's a very similar experience, like I said, but the Fold 6 will definitely be a little bit better. So now we're gonna go into watching videos because that's something that people do a lot with their phones. And obviously a different screen size means that it's gonna be a different video viewing experience. So let's just start with seeing videos in split screen. So it's gonna be a small screen at the top, obviously, and then you full screen it and it will be a small screen in the middle of that. And you can adjust it and this is how it will look. And yeah, that's basically how it looks in vertical split screen. So now if we rotate the landscape in split screen, the Fold 6 is definitely a better viewing experience for sure. It is pretty negligible. It's a small difference, but at the same time, it is a nice difference. Like I feel like the Fold 6 is pretty comfortable. You know, I could watch a video like this and do something on the side, like, you know, whether it be scrolling Reddit or something like that. Both of them are pretty usable to me. Like I do stuff like this all the time on my Z Fold series. Even on the outer display, multitasking is pretty usable to me. So Fold 6 at the bottom, Fold 5 at the top, watching a video in split screen. And then what happens when you make the YouTube video small, both of them have the little layout like that, you full screen it, and now the other app is taking up most of the screen. And then if you rotate, you could do something like this where you're on social media and you have a video playing at the top and you're, you know, casually watching that video. It's not something that you need to see the visuals that much or like you care about the visuals that much. Let's say it's like a video podcast. You can have that at the top while you're scrolling social media at the bottom. And it's a decent size, bro. All this with one hand. It works pretty well. And then of course, if you love this, you can save the app pair like that. But that's how it looks with both of them. So now we're gonna go full screen and see the difference in the screen sizes. So first things first, in YouTube, by default, you have this layout. Go into the comments and it looks like this. And now we're gonna full screen. It doesn't seem like a big difference, but it is a nice change. I feel like the Fold 6 is a little bit better of a viewing experience because it has a slightly bigger screen. And I think it just fits apps more nicely than the Fold 5 did in terms of like just basic compatibility and filling up the screen. But let me know if you think that the change is big or not. Just for reference, I want to bring in a normal size phone. So this is a Nothing Phone 2A. It's as big as the Ultras and the Maxes. And I just want to show you like the difference. So Nothing Phone 2A at the bottom, Z Fold 6 in the middle, Z Fold 5 at the top. Obviously the Fold 5 is going to be the smallest. Fold 6 is in between that and a normal size phone screen. And if you ask me, the difference between these two, it's really not that crazy, bro. Like I could walk around the house and watch a video on this. I can put this down like this and watch a video like that, you know, while I'm doing something else. I can pick it up, enjoy it while I'm walking one-handed. And then if I really want to enjoy it, I'll open it up and I can watch a video like this or like this. So honestly, the outer display on the Fold 6 is really nice. I like that they increased screen size, but they kept the form factor the same. All right, so now we got Minecraft here just to show you gaming on the outer displays. In my personal opinion, this outer display on the Z Fold 5 is really not bad for gaming. Like I use it sometimes when I want to get a quick session in. Like let's say, like for example, Pokemon Unite, it's a game that has 10-minute rounds. If I'm like, you know, doing something and waiting for the doctor or something like that, I might just hop in Pokemon Unite, you know, play a little 10-minute round on this outer display and then get on with what I need to do. So it's perfect for like quick gaming sessions. It's not like obviously something that you want to game on every single time all day, but it works. And now the Fold 6, it is better. It's exactly like that. It's a smaller, compact form factor, but it's a little bit better. Like this feels a lot more comfortable to play a game on. 2-finger controls for like moving around the camera while walking is definitely more comfortable than the Fold 5 for sure. I mean, you can probably already tell that without even seeing them, but here it is for reference. And just the fact that the bezels are thinner on the Fold 6, it does look like a more nicer viewing experience. And then the square screen, it just fits everything so much more nicely, in my opinion, compared to this with the rounded edges. I'm not one to really care about bezels like that, but like the Fold 6 with the symmetrical bezels, it looks nice, I won't lie. The next thing we're going to test is social media. So first we got Instagram, and the Fold 5 is on the left, Fold 6 is on the right. This is how they both look in the search page. And, you know, just scrolling through, both of them can see 3 things across for each row. It's basically the same kind of layout, even though the Fold 6 is slightly bigger. It's not big enough to make it that much different. When you go into a post on the Fold 6, you can see from the top to, you know, these little icons right here. And it's basically the same on the Fold 5. I hate Instagram so much, bro. But yeah, that's how it looks when you're commenting on Instagram, and overall basically the same. I'm actually gonna do an Instagram camera test just to show you guys the quality. I'm gonna make sure to wipe down the camera lens so that the camera's not dirty or anything like that when we're doing this. Yeah, I'm just gonna take a picture of this right here. So Instagram camera test. And I feel like it's definitely not as good as the main cameras, but it's decent. You know, it's usable. There's actually a decent amount of detail when you zoom in. Fold 6 definitely took the better picture in Instagram. You can see the extra detail there. And now I'll do a little selfie. And again, I think the Fold 6 is doing better. The angle is definitely slightly different, but I don't think that's going to change the colors too much across both of them. So Fold 6 is definitely taking the better pictures in the Instagram camera. That's with both of the selfie cameras on the other displays. And then I'm going to do a video real quick. And that's the video in the Instagram camera. And it looks all right. It's not bad. This is obviously not the best lighting situation. You know, maybe outside would look better with more contrast and stuff like that. But it looks decent. I think the Fold 6 is definitely producing a better image in the Instagram camera, so you already know. But yeah, everything is basically exactly the same across both of them, even though Fold 6 is a slightly bigger screen. Let's look at Facebook. Again, the same thing, but I will say that it does look more comfortable on the Fold 6. The Fold 6 definitely has a more comfortable looking screen when it comes to Facebook. The layout just fits it better, but it's displaying the same exact amount of information. So, okay, so now I'm gonna show you what it looks like to use the cameras on these outer displays, just to show you like, you know, screen size, comfortability, stuff like that. Obviously the Fold 6 is a little bit bigger, but again, it's gonna be a very similar experience on the outer display. And just for science, I'm gonna show you temp mode and having it propped up like this, you know, just to give you a little idea of like what it's like to put your phone down and then walk away and, you know, do stuff while you're walking around. So let's say you put your Z Folds down and you want to just watch a video. This is how it's going to look as you're walking by. This is not that much different from this, except it has a hinge that can, you know, hold itself up. So I think it's pretty sick, to be honest. And then obviously you got temp mode for a little bit of a different feel. And again, same experience, you know, just walking by. and it looks like this. Okay, so the fingerprint sensor works exactly the same on both of them. You know, I don't have any issues with speed and reliability for both of them. I think it's exactly the same. Face unlock is the same story, but honestly, Samsung's face unlock is not that good. I barely use it, and it's hit or miss for me depending on the lighting situation, what's going on. Because it's not like a dedicated face unlock. They're using the selfie camera. There's no like extra features to make it more secure or more, you know, fast or whatever. So yeah, I don't really use face unlock, but they work exactly the same. And then when it comes to lock screens and always on display, the lock screens are basically the same. You know, you have the same options. However, the always on display is different on the outer display for Fold 6. If I lock my phone, boom, always on display shows my wallpaper when the phone is off. I think that's pretty sick. It's exactly like the iPhones or the S24 Ultra. And yeah, I personally like this better, even though it might consume a little bit more battery. I don't think it's that big of a difference. I like how this always on display looks. But on the old always on display, you can definitely customize it a lot more. Like I have the Bible widget right here, so it shows me the rest of the day. Every single day on my always on display. So that's pretty cool. And then if you double tap it, you can launch that app. You can enable that on this one, but you're losing the wallpaper always on display. So you got to pick and choose. So going back to always on displays, on the inside, the Fold 6 has a regular always on display, just like this one. But again, the experience is going to be very similar because they are very similar phones. Like some people might say the same phone, just, you know, a different exterior. But the screen aspect ratio actually changed with the Fold 6. The Fold 6 is a little bit more square. So there is a slight difference in terms of the experience. In my opinion, I feel like the Fold 6 is just more immersive. Like it feels like a bigger device in my hand, even though they have the same screen size on paper. This just feels so immersive in my hand. It might be the bezels, it might be the square off, the feel of it, maybe the brightness. But yeah, the Fold 6 just feels so immersive. Fold 5, definitely nice, and it definitely feels pretty immersive. Something about the Fold 6 that I can't really communicate through a video and stuff like that. It feels bigger, like a bigger screen. So in terms of how multitasking looks on both these devices, we're on this same website now. So what I'm gonna do is, you know, swipe from the left, open up split screen. We'll do YouTube this time. Boom, and now we got a video running while we're, you know, browsing the internet on the other side. And then if I want, I can add a third app. So I'm gonna add another internet browser. And it basically looks exactly the same. I will say the squared off edges make it look like it fits, you know, the apps and stuff more, but maybe it's just me. And then you can obviously adjust the sizes so that, you know, this is more narrow. Yeah, they look pretty much the same, but I feel like the Fold 6 just looks more immersive and big for some reason. So now let's go to LumaFusion to see how it looks. All right, so LumaFusion in this layout, pretty similar, again, with the Fold 6. It definitely is taller when you're in landscape. But yeah, the experience is going to be very similar, bro. With a lot of this stuff on these phones is like you can customize the experience for yourself to make it better for you. Like, you can make this smaller or bigger. And then you can also change the layouts with LumaFusion. And then people have been saying that the video viewing experience is smaller on the Fold 6 because of the aspect ratio, but it's just not true. So I'm going to show you that here. Obviously, this is what it looks like in vertical or portrait. You know, you got this basically a very similar size. And you rotate. There's no difference in the viewing experience. Like the size is literally exactly the same. You just have slightly bigger black borders at the bottom and the top, but the actual screen real estate that's being used for the video is it hasn't changed at all. And then if you zoom in again, it's gonna be pretty similar. It's honestly a very similar experience when it comes to day-to-day stuff. Like literally the same software. There's only some slight differences. So I'll get into that AI stuff soon. There's one more thing that I want to show you, and that's flex mode in any app, because you'll see a bigger difference. Flex mode with the Fold 6 is actually a little bit more comfortable because this top half, or just the halves of the screens, are more wider, obviously. So it's a better experience, especially if you're doing something like this, like a little laptop layout, and you know the keyboard comes up and you want to type in like this. You can type like a little laptop. It's a little bit more comfortable. It's a decent experience right here versus the Fold 5. Again, it's not going to be too crazy or too much of a difference, but there is a difference. And I'm going to typing right here. Yeah, there is a little bit of a difference for sure. I'll just show you a little closer. So this is just a different look of these phones in flex mode. And you can see the Fold 6 aspect ratio is working out decent for it. A little bit better than the Fold 5 right here, Fold 6. You see it's a little bit better on the Fold 6. All right, so getting into the software and the AI, there are some slight software differences right now. I'm sure all the things that the Fold 6 has will come to the Fold 5 eventually, or at least most of it, and especially like the basic software changes that I'll show you just now. Yeah, in regards to the AI, it's pretty much the same stuff. There's like a couple new things for the Fold 6 that will probably come to the Fold 5. So one of the new things is drawing assist. So you can sketch something and then the AI will turn that into like an actual picture. So I'll try it out for this video, but you don't have that on the Fold 5. Then you also have health assist, get personalized insights and guidance based on your health data, photo ambient wallpaper. I think chat assist is also new. Translate messages in select chat and text messaging apps. Compose full text based on a snippet or request. So it's kind of like this right here, where it can help you with like typing stuff, but it seems like it's a little bit more enhanced in terms of like translating and stuff like that. Honestly, it might even just be the same, but reskinned for the newer software. But yeah, so now let me just get into the drawing feature or whatever. Okay, I got this picture of my daughter. Now, let me see what I can do. Okay, sketch to image. Let me draw a little hat on her head. So I'm really bad at drawing, so you know, I'm trying my best. Let's see what it does with that. The way that the hat kind of wraps around her hair, fits her head, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty impressive still. But there's definitely some, you know, issues that they gotta work out. But it looks decent, I'm not gonna lie. It looks pretty crazy. So now let me just show you AI on the Fold 5. So right now the Fold 5 only has the basic AI, so you can like select things and delete them out the frame. So, you know, you can move them. Let's say I move the cars or I make them bigger and move them up right here. Let's see what happens. So yeah, there's that. The cars moved and I don't know what happened. Let's view the original. It added in a new car to replace it. It's pretty funny. Yeah, I mean, that's the AI features. Like, there's not really too much going on with the AI. You can generate stuff. You can edit photos. This is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie with the drawing. It looks like really good compared to this stuff the old AI did. But I'm pretty sure this feature will probably come to the Fold 5 eventually. Like, there's no reason why it shouldn't. If it doesn't, I don't know if that's necessarily a reason to upgrade to the Fold 6. You can decide that, obviously. What's important to you might not be important to me. But yeah, in terms of the software experience, it's really not much different. So the only real differences I found in the software are, I'm gonna show you right here. So in the Files app, when you move files on the newer software on the Fold 6, it looks slightly different. So let me just go to downloads real quick. Okay, so I'm going to select something and show you. Select this, and I'm going to move it. Now, on the Fold 6, you get this little pop-up, and it shows you like everything, all the folders, all the different, let's say you have an SSD connected to the device, it will pop up here. And you can select and move through all the files and folders on the phone in this little pop-up. It's pretty quick, and it's nice. But then, on the old software, on the Fold 5, if I press move, now I have to navigate the whole device and, you know, manually find everything. So let's say I move something here, then I'm still in documents where I, you know, just navigated to. Whereas with the Fold 6, if I put something somewhere else, it's there. And then I can either show in the folder or I can stay where I was before. So it's kind of nice, you know, a little software change. It can be annoying though in my time using it. Because like, okay, so let's say you're like me and you know, you have multiple folders and stuff like that. And you just want to move this into this folder right here. When you press move, it opens up this window right here and then it shows you everything on the phone. Then you have to navigate to that folder when it's literally right here. And then you could do this. You can hold, drop it. But all that does is it creates a copy. Like, I don't want to create a copy. I want to just move something. So it can be annoying when you're trying to move something that's literally just in the same folder, but you want to move it into another folder in that folder, if that makes sense. Like, for example, I want to move this right here on the Fold 5 to ringtones. So I go into that folder, move it, and there it is. Very simple. If I want to move this into the folder above it, then I have to go here, then I have to navigate to where it was. I forgot where it was. I'm in DCIM. So now I got to press move, navigate to DCIM, then go down, and then move. This method of moving stuff is a little bit convenient depending on what you're doing. But in some cases, like you saw here, the old method is more convenient. Hopefully they update it so that, you know, it just shows you where you are first or something like that. I don't know. It's not like crazy change, but it is a change in the software that I noticed because I use the Files app a lot. Okay, so another thing they changed is taking screenshots with the S Pen or like Smart Select. So if I press the button, this menu will come up and then there's Smart Select. And now it's completely different. This has this rainbow effect. And the way it works is like you circle an area and then it will smartly, you know, create the box around that area to take the screenshot. And then you can obviously adjust the size after it does that. Then you have all your options down here. So you can copy to clipboard, you can sketch to image, you can save it as just a screenshot, you can type on it, add to a note. So it's a pretty nice interface. I'm gonna try sketch to image. All it did was draw a line and like completely change the shape of her neck, my daughter's neck in this picture. That is so strange. But yeah, there's AI integrated into the screenshotter mechanic. Whereas on the Fold 5, if you go to Smart Select right here, it's literally just selecting an area of the screen to take a screenshot. And then you can like draw in it and stuff like that. So the new Smart Select is a little bit more AI integrated and like, you know, trying to make it like fast and smooth for you to do stuff. But those are like really the only two software differences that I've noticed so far. Aside from the Galaxy AI, you know, being like its own section on the Fold 6 versus like Galaxy AI being hidden. And it's not even called that on the Fold 5, but it's more hidden in advanced features right here called advanced intelligence. That is this comparison video, and subscribe for more. Consider becoming a member so you can help with acquiring these devices and just push out content. But yeah, we out. Peace.